Welcome to Sheikh Hamdan's Fans official channel, your trusted source for the latest insights, heartfelt stories, and behind-the-scenes updates on the life of Dubai's beloved crown prince and the captivating royal family dynamics. Today, we delve into a sensitive and emotional chapter in the personal life of Sheikh Hamdan, one that involves love, loyalty, and the invisible chains of royal duty. It is a story whispered in palace corridors, yet thundering in the hearts of those who follow his journey. She is forcing me not to get married with Shamma. As many of you know, after the sudden and mysterious departure of Hadia, a woman whose grace and intellect once stood close to the prince's heart, Shamma al-Falasi gently stepped into that void. Young, elegant, and blessed with a charm that drew Sheikh Hamdan into effortless comfort, Shamma became more than just a companion. She was often seen by his side during art exhibits, desert adventures, and quiet poetry nights. Their bond felt like destiny weaving two soul threads together under Dubai's golden skies. Yet behind palace doors, the fairy tale was quietly unraveling. Sheikha Thani, a powerful matriarch within the royal household, began expressing visible discontent over Shamma's growing closeness with Sheikh Hamdan. Her reasons, though never formally announced, echoed the conservative rhythms of royal tradition, that not every heart-chosen woman is deemed fit to be crown princess. It is said she believes Shamma's background lacks the political or tribal weight expected of someone entering the highest echelon of the royal family. Despite the whispers, Sheikh Hamdan remained publicly gentle and composed. But those closest to him noticed a shift, longer silences, deeper sighs, and poems that suddenly took a melancholy turn. The man known for his strength and adventure was quietly battling a storm where his heart desired freedom, yet his duty held him captive. Behind his charming smiles lay the ache of a prince being pulled away from the one who made him feel human, not just royal. Sources close to the palace suggest that Sheikha Thani has issued subtle yet firm warnings, reminding Hamdan of the expectations that come with his crown. "This is not just about love," she reportedly said. "It's about legacy, image, and alliances." To many, it felt like a cold reasoning. But within the intricate dance of monarchy, love is often a lesser chord, playing in the background of diplomacy. Shamma, meanwhile, remains dignified and quiet. She has not spoken to the media, nor has she made any public display of sadness. But her absence from recent royal events has not gone unnoticed. Fans who once delighted in catching glimpses of the couple are now left wondering, was it all real? Or was it just another love story rewritten by royal decree? Still, in the eyes of those who watched them together, the answer is clear: their love was pure. The emotional burden on Sheikh Hamdan is undeniable. Known for his poetry, his recent verses speak of hidden tears, of longing for someone he can no longer touch, and of the walls built by tradition that even a prince cannot break. In one poem posted under the name, Fazza, he wrote, "They say I am born to lead, but who will lead my heart back to her?" A single line, but it tells 1,000 stories. This isn't the first time royal expectations have collided with personal choices. But rarely has the conflict felt so raw, so public, and so deeply human. Sheikh Hamdan, the man behind the prince, is clearly torn between the echo of his mother's traditional expectations and the quiet laughter he once shared with Shamma in private gardens and sand-dusted dunes. Supporters around the world have started expressing their opinions online. Some urge Sheikh Hamdan to follow his heart no matter the consequences. Others understand the weight of royal obligation and believe he must respect the path carved for him. Still, the divide between love and legacy has never felt more painfully poetic in Dubai's royal history. What lies ahead for Shamma and Sheikh Hamdan is uncertain. Will he defy expectations for love? Or will he continue walking the lonely path of a prince, adored by millions yet unable to keep the one who made him smile like a man, not a monarch? As fans, we can only hope he finds the courage to write his own destiny, not one scripted by others. To Sheikha Thani, this may be about preserving lineage, but to the rest of us watching with hope, it is a tale of two hearts struggling to stay connected across a widening ocean. And while silence surrounds their love story now, echoes of it remain in the songs, stories, and dreams of all who still believe in a love strong enough to challenge even the most ancient traditions. But love, especially in the heart of a poet like Sheikh Hamdan, does not fade easily. It lingers like an unfinished verse. Even amid the royal expectations and looming decisions, his heart continues to whisper Shamma's name. Those who've read between the lines of his recent posts and poems can feel her presence etched into every word. It's as though his soul refuses to let go, even as the world around him demands silence. For every photo taken without her, there is a moment unseen, a memory replaying, a heartbeat skipping in her absence. Behind the palace gates, conversations grow heavier. Advisors tread carefully, knowing that any suggestion to reignite the bond may risk displeasing the matriarch. Still, some younger royals have voiced quiet support, believing that the future of leadership must evolve with the heart of its leader. They argue that love is no longer a weakness, it's a strength. They see in Hamdan and Shamma a reflection of a modern monarchy, one where compassion and personal choice could redefine legacy. Shamma's silence, while graceful, is not without its own power. Her refusal to chase attention, to speak out, or to ignite scandal, has made her even more admired among the public. Her strength in letting go, or at least, appearing to, has captured hearts across the world. She walks with the kind of dignity that makes people wonder if maybe, just maybe, she's the kind of woman Dubai's future needs. Not for titles or appearances, but for love, loyalty, and quiet resilience. Insiders say that Sheikh Hamdan recently requested a private audience with Sheikha Thani. What was said in that conversation remains tightly guarded, but those familiar with the tone of his voice say it was one of respectful defiance. The kind of tone a son uses when pleading with a mother not just as a ruler, but as a human being in pain. Perhaps it wasn't about rebellion, but about asking her to see beyond the traditions, and into the soul of the man. At a recent poetry night in Dubai, Sheikh Hamdan read a new piece that stunned listeners into silence. He spoke of a garden once in bloom, now watched from behind a glass, and a rose who still waits for the sun to return. The room was breathless. Those who knew the story understood, this wasn't just art, it was confession. It was love, grieving in front of an audience too polite to cry with him. The royal court has begun subtly exploring potential matches for Sheikh Hamdan once again, stirring speculation in headlines. But every time a new name is floated, the public compares her to Shamma, and finds the new contender lacking the softness, grace, and authenticity that Shamma brought to the prince's life. In every comparison, she remains the quiet standard, the untitled queen of his heart. Many believe that Sheikh Hamdan is reaching a crossroad. The time for silent suffering may soon end. Whether he will make a bold move to reclaim his happiness, or continue bearing the weight of his crown, only time will tell. But one thing is certain, he has become the voice of every person caught between the heart and the world. Through him, thousands feel seen. Through his struggle, many find courage for their own. In the hidden halls of Zabil Palace, it is said that Sheikh Hamdan still keeps a photograph of Shamma tucked into his notebook, the one he never travels without. It's a small gesture, almost invisible to the outside world, but it speaks volumes. It is a quiet rebellion, a personal prayer. Even if the world won't let them be together, he refuses to erase her. Perhaps this story is not about a forbidden love after all, but about a love so true it refuses to vanish, even when every force tells it to. It's a reminder that real love doesn't always end in wedding bells and titles. Sometimes, it endures in sacrifice, in poetry, in unspoken promises. And in that sense, maybe Shamma has already become something no crown could define, the eternal muse of a prince who dared to love. Here on Sheikh Hamdan's Fans official channel, we will continue to follow this emotional journey with sincerity, respect, and hope. Whether the next chapter holds reconciliation, new beginnings, or unbreakable memories, we stand with the truth of this tale. That even under the weight of royalty, the heart still longs, still speaks, still loves. And love, real love, always finds a way to be remembered. There's a quiet war happening in the corridors of tradition, one that Sheikh Hamdan never asked for but now finds himself at the center of. With every public smile he offers, there's a hidden ache beneath, a longing for something real in a world that too often demands perfection over passion. While many admire his resilience, those who truly understand him know that it takes immense strength to walk the fine line between royal image and personal truth. And in that truth, Shamma remains a chapter he hasn't been able to close. Close friends say his eyes change when her name is mentioned, softening with a kind of vulnerability that no title can shield. Even amidst royal banquets, diplomatic visits, and international summits, there's a stillness in him that only she used to quiet. To the world, he's the future king, but to those who've seen the private side of him, he's still a man waiting for permission to follow his heart. And that permission may never come, unless he dares to take it himself. What makes this love story so piercing isn't just the grandeur or the secrecy, it's the reality that so many watching can relate to. The pressure to choose what pleases others instead of what brings peace to your own soul. The fear of disappointing family versus the cost of abandoning the one person who feels like home. In Sheikh Hamdan's struggle, many see their own heartbreaks reflected, only amplified by the throne he sits upon. There are whispers that Shamma herself still loves him deeply but has vowed not to come between him and his family. That her silence is her way of protecting him, even as it breaks her. In her quiet withdrawal, there is a kind of nobility rarely spoken of, not the kind given by crowns or titles, but by selflessness and grace. She loved him enough to walk away when the world said she didn't belong. And that, in many eyes, made her more than worthy. As we watch the story unfold, fans around the globe remain hopeful. Hopeful that Sheikh Hamdan will be able to bridge the gap between love and legacy. Hopeful that perhaps Sheikha Thani, with all her strength and pride, might one day look into her son's eyes and realize that love is not a weakness. It is the very courage upon which legacies are built. After all, what good is a kingdom, if the king's heart remains in chains? So we wait, not for gossip or scandal, but for a resolution that honors the hearts involved. Whether Sheikh Hamdan and Shamma reunite, or whether they remain two souls bound by memory alone, their story has already touched millions. And here, at Sheikh Hamdan's fans' official channel, we remain devoted to telling it with honesty, empathy, and the belief that even in silence, true love speaks the loudest. Stay tuned to Sheikh Hamdan's fans' official channel for more exclusive updates, emotional journeys, and real stories from the heart of Dubai's royal family. Because sometimes, the stories we follow aren't just royal, they are deeply, achingly